Welcome, everybody, to Season 2, Episode 24 of Hexproof from Ward. Um, if you can't tell, we may be recording two episodes at the same night. Uh, except Josh he's time traveled. Uh, but yeah, so due to our Gen Con and Dancing with the Stars Con schedules, and then work schedules and stuff like that, we are doing one of the times where we record two episodes in the same night. But it's fun. We have fun with it when we do this kind of stuff. So we just celebrate our 75th recorded episode with our last one. So this is episode 76. So Josh is going to play 76 trombones during this episode. So pretty excited about that for Music Man fans. Yeah, so for this episode, we're gonna talk about we're gonna do a little bit of a fan cast. So it's a little different. We'll recap Gen Con, Dancing with the Stars Con, stuff like that in the following week. So we're sorry if you thought that you're gonna get the recaps this week. You'll get them next week. So we still love you and hope you still love us. So we're going to talk about all that kind of stuff. We'll talk about SummerSlam. We'll talk about all that stuff next week. So Fancast, we're going to talk about the Magic the Gathering Netflix show. There are currently a couple of people that have already been cast. And hopefully they're still cast and we're not just seeing like random stuff on IMDb. But we're going to pick a couple of people who we think would do a great job in the show. That may be some of our favorite planeswalkers and stuff. And then we're going to talk about Magic the Gathering at Comic-Con. So, Comic-Con was a couple of weeks ago. There was a lot of Magic activations going on at Comic-Con. So, we'll talk about those. And then we'll talk about the Hobbit pre-release that's going to be happening this weekend. So, if anybody's going to go play the Hobbit pre-release, what they should be looking out for, what cards we're looking out for, things like that. So, there's not really much to catch up on since we just talked to each other about 5 minutes ago. So, nothing's really changed since then. Sam's power is still out, so they're trying to work on that and get that fixed. AEP is in the area, so if you didn't listen to our last episode, there's weather and storms in Indiana, per usual, and Sam's power got knocked out, so he's not here. Keith.
I thought The Hobbit came out in like the holiday season, like December or something. I had no idea it was coming out
Nope. Yep.
in
It
like a
comes
couple
out
weeks.
pre-release is the first weekend of August, and
That's
then,
crazy.
or no, the second weekend of August actually, and then it comes out for full on like the third week of August. Yeah, Josh, you fingered
Oh,
earlier.
oh yeah. I was just gonna say that nothing changed from the last episode. Like, I changed my shirt.
Yeah,
I tried. I tried
yeah.
to.
Josh changed his shirt.
He's a
Yeah,
chain man.
we. I knew you were gonna say that we were recording two in one day, but I wanted to put in the effort anyway.
Well, everybody appreciates that. So, um, with that being said, do we want to here? Let me switch over to IMDb real fast, and we'll see what we've got for um, Magic the Gathering. Here we go. All right, so let's go ahead and we'll share. All right, so far we've only got four people in the cast so far per IMDb. So
Ooh,
how
okay.
official this is, I mean, IMDb is pretty official. So, hopefully we're not getting hoodwinked and bamboozled, but this is saying that it is the Netflix Magic the Gathering uh, thing. So we've got Brandon Routh, who was Superman on Smallville, correct, Keith? He was the Smallville Superman.
He had his own standalone. He was full blown Superman.
Oh, okay. Never mind. I'm an idiot. He's Gideon. He's playing Gideon, and then Lexi De Benedetto is Chandra, and then Matthew Lamb is Ryton, and Gabby Manukin is Savina. So that's who we've got so far. Um, what do you guys think?
Yep. Seems solid. I'm glad that they
She
uh
looks familiar. I think
Was
she sang with, yeah, she was on the South Park. She was one of the background vocal people. So that's hilarious. I was like, she looks really familiar. She was
Kareem.
hilarious while she was singing. So yeah, she does a lot of Broadway stuff and voiceover stuff. Um and then Matthew Lamb, I don't know if I've ever seen him before.
is this live action or is this animated?
Yeah, it's live action, I believe.
Because yeah, because I see
Let's
like
see.
voice actor roles and such, but
Let's see. Everything we know about the Magic the Gathering movie? What is this? Magic the Gathering movie has been in the works. I don't know if that's right. What is happening here?
I don't know.
It
If they
says
start
live
talking about
action.
it at Magic Con and other events, then maybe it'll
Here we go.
be more
This is
likely.
from Netflix, okay? Animated series is headed to Netflix. Okay. So that makes sense. That's why
She's a voice actor.
yeah, she's a voice actor, so that makes sense is why Gabby's there. Brandon Routh being Gideon is interesting. Yeah, so the hugely popular game Magic the Gathering, which has enthralled millions of tabletop gamers for more than 30 years, is set to become an event animated series streaming on Netflix and is currently in production with new creative direction from showrunner and executive producer Terry Matalas. Star Trek Picard and 12 Monkeys announced at Geeked Weekend 2024. The series was created in partnership with Hasbro and Wizards of the Coast, with Oscar winner Patrick Osborne as supervising director and EP. So yeah, that's what we've got so far. So with that being said, and it being animated, I could see a couple of like people that we see in game nights and stuff like that getting a chance to
True,
uh,
true.
get some time on there. Like Ashlyn, uh, what's her name? She's she's been on a couple episodes, but I know that she's a big voice actress, so she could get on there.
uh, yeah, because like you wanted us to pick some of our fan casts for this. I actually, in a similar vein, I actually had one. If we're
Okay, yeah. Who do you got?
ready to shoot, I actually had Jacob Bertrand as Domri. I
Okay.
mean, because he's on Commander at Home all the time.
Yeah.
He's and then he plays Hawk in Cobra Kai, so he's gonna having a mohawk as Domri. It just fits. I don't think you can cast better than that.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, Keith, what do you got, buddy?
All right, I might have a banger. Phil Lamar as Teferi. Phil
Okay.
Lamar, prolific voice actor. He is Samurai Jack. He's in Futurama, originally from Mad TV. All kinds of VA work.
Yeah, I could see like LeVar Burton getting that too. Uh, he'd be cool. And then, oh man,
I might be jumping the gun with Teferi though. Who knows what like planeswalkers they'll pick? Probably like
Yeah.
the first old batch.
I would like to see Christopher Judge
I don't
get to
know.
be someone in Magic the
That'd be
Gathering.
cool.
Like that would be sick.
Garuk.
Like Garrick, yeah,
Yeah.
that would be sweet to have him. Who would we want to have as Liliana? Who are we thinking there?
Let's
Who is
see.
a strong willed lady.
Let's see. Like because now I'm like thinking like voice actors and I'm like going through like all the anime in my head and I'm like
Yeah.
who voices like the goth girls in anime. So I was like uh
Mm,
It's just a fan cast. We can kind of go with whatever.
yeah, true.
what if we did
I'm still
like
thinking though.
Tara Strong or something like that? Like
That'd be great.
she'd be a good one,
Mhm.
I
Sure.
think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just like a general just strong voice actor.
Timmy,
Yeah.
Timmy Turner.
But yeah, like, maybe we don't want Timmy Turner as Liliana. Or do we?
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah. Uh
I'm looking at the new Street Fighter cast, and I was trying to poach people from here, but I'm not sure yet.
Okay.
50 Cent to Fairy.
We just have Frank or Morgan Freeman be the narrator if they need a narrator.
Jason Momoa is a big character guy right now. Who could he be?
I
Ooh.
think
The
Garuk.
guy. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
he would be
another
another fun Garuk.
Garuk guy.
Yeah.
Another
Oh,
another good
no, I think we got to go with like Mishra and like who's the blue guy? Who's the big bad guy?
But we
His
need a
counterpart, his bro.
Jace. We need a Jace.
maybe Damian Haas. He does a lot of anime voice actor work. He also plays Magic the Gathering.
Okay.
So
Okay.
he does Leos in Dungeon Meshi. So
Okay.
Uh,
Who could John
ring
DiMaggio be? Who could John
oh
DiMaggio be?
Karn.
Yes. Yes.
Turn.
Yes.
You just
I
Bender. He
love it.
just does Bender as Karn.
Yes. That would be great. Oh my gosh. All
Okay,
right.
that one's locked in. Call Netflix.
Oh my gosh. And then for we could have Tom Kenny just be like our all of our underwater creatures. I
Yes.
think that would be fun.
Like Tom Kenny is Kiora.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. We don't want to get too into the weeds on this. Yeah, Keith, what do you got, buddy?
I was looking at trending people on IMDb. How about Indy Navarrete as Liliana? She's the girl from Obsession.
Yes. That would be fun. That
She's
would be
got dark
cool.
features.
She's dark. She's got a dark past. Yeah, I always like when it's VO work, like doing voiceover, like actual voiceover actors, because you know the actors get enough work, so stealing voiceover work from
True.
voiceover actors is kind of
Oh,
crummy. I
also,
think the person that did all of the reading for Dungeon Crawler Carl, I think he'd be a uh, really good add in here. And then you have Alan Tudyk. He could be a fun little like
Oh,
robot
he's
type
great.
character too, or anything really. I think he could do anything.
yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
Josh.
also, just quick, just shouting out like voice actors and acting work. Like this will be like airing after Gen Con, but like going to like your cons and stuff like that, and like letting like the voice actors know that you appreciate their craft and like the work that they're doing and stuff like that is like really big, and like that they get a lot of their funding and are able to do that by going to cons and
Yeah.
getting support from fans. So
Yep.
doing that makes a big difference.
Yeah, Christopher Judge is one of the nicest human beings I have ever met in my entire life. And I would have never gotten to meet him if I hadn't have been able to go to a convention and say hi and everything. So, definitely get out, go say hi to people, and spend some time and talk to them, and just get to know them. It's always fun. Um, with that, I think we're good. Uh, with kind of fan casting for the moment. So with that, kind of, do we want to talk about Comic Con? Did you guys see what all was going on at Comic Con and stuff that people could do there, Magic the Gathering
Ooh,
wise? Or do you want me to kind of
no.
run through it a little bit?
Yeah, if you
Okay.
know, go
Yeah,
for it.
educate us.
So There were some promos. So the Magic Star Trek, you could get one of the Captain Kirk cards. So that was kind of cool, promo card. And then some of the promo cards that you could only get at Disney for a minute for the Marvel set, you could get at the con. And then they had a trolley that was going through town where you could get on and get a pack, like a promo pack, and it was popsicles. So you could get like the Black Panther and stuff like that, and they looked like actual packs of Magic cards, but they had the popsicles inside of them. So that was super cool. They had the Tap Tap golf that we got to play in Vegas at MagicCon Vegas. So they brought that over to Comic Con. Um, I also saw just people jamming games, and then they had like the oversized cards that you can win and a whole bunch of other stuff. But the oversized cards are always cool um, to take home. Um, just a lot
I
of
wouldn't
fun
say
stuff, and I think they talked a little bit more about the Hobbit since that's coming up and things like that. So just kind of getting out there, talking to some comic book artists that had a hand in the set and in some other sets as well, and just some artists in general. And uh, our man Brian David Marshall, I know we bring him up a lot, but he was there talking Cataclysm Arcade and having a good time. So um, I think overall Comic Con is something that I would love to go to at some point. If we could make that happen, that would be super cool. Um,
Hmm, that would be
it's
cool.
it's a dream. So,
San Diego.
yep, San Diego Comic Con.
Mm.
So that's all I've got for that. Josh, do you want to say anything?
No, that's that I've never been to California, so that would be cool.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Okay. Let's get into this deck build real fast. Um, 1 second. Let me
What?
pull her up.
Is this the
So,
last or second to last?
this is the last of us making four, but I think we've been having enough. We've been having so much fun that we could make more Oathbreaker decks in the future. Um, I just think they're a lot of fun, and it's less cards to deal with. And I don't know where everybody went. Everybody go. Okay, cool. So, Chrome opened up the page right on top of everybody's faces. All right, here we go. Um, I'm gonna preface this by saying I know I said I was gonna build Liliana, but I didn't. So, sorry.
Oh
We've
no.
got Ralzeric. You feeling lucky, punks?
Ooh.
What are the odds indeed? Uh, so we're doing a coin flip extra turn. Is it spell slinger webcam friendly deck? Is what we're doing. So,
Oh, heck yeah.
um, our Oathbreaker is Ralzeric for 2, and is it? He starts out at 4. His +1 is tap target permanent, then untap another target permanent. His -2 is Ralzeric deals 3 damage to any target. His -7 is flip 5 coins, take an extra turn after this one for each coin that comes up heads. The signature spell we've got is Epic Experiment for X, and is it? Sorcery, exile the top X cards of your library. You may cast instant and sorcery spells with mana value X or less from among them without paying their mana cost. Then put all cards exiled this way that weren't cast into your graveyard. Then we have Ral Storm Conduit for 2, and is it? He starts out at 4. Whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, Ral Storm Conduit deals 1 damage to target opponent or planeswalker. His +2 is Scry 1. His -2 is when you cast your next instant or sorcery spell this turn, copy that spell. You may choose new targets for the copy. And then we have Tamio the Moon Sage for 3 and 2 blue. Starts out at 4. Um, Her +1 is tap target permanent. It doesn't untap during its controller's next untap step. -2 is draw a card for each tap target creature or each tapped creature target player controls. -8 is you get an emblem with you have no maximum hand size, and whenever a card is put into your graveyard from anywhere, you may return it to your hand. Um, All right, so that's what we've got there. Creatures, we've got 13 creatures. So we've got Krark the Thumbless for 1 and a red. He's a 2/2 goblin wizard with whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, flip a coin. If you lose the flip, return this spell to its owner's hand. If you win the flip, copy that spell, and you may choose new targets for the copy. Then we have Ral Monsoon Mage for 1 and a red. He's a 1/3. Instant and sorcery spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell during your turn, flip a coin. If you lose the flip, Ral Monsoon Mage deals 1 damage to you. If you win the flip, you may exile Ral. If you do, return him to the battlefield transformed under his owner's control. Excuse me. And you get Ral Leyline Prodigy. He enters the battlefield with an additional loyalty counter for each instant sorcery spell you've cast this turn. He starts off at 2. His +1 is until your next turn, instant sorcery spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. -2 is Ral deals 2 damage divided as you choose among 1 or 2 targets. Draw a card if you control a blue permanent other than Ral. And then his ultimate -8 is exile the top 8 cards of your library. You may cast instant and sorcery spells from among them this turn without paying mana costs. And then we've got Red Death Shipwrecker for Izzet. It's a 1/3 crab mutant with alluring eyes. So tap it to goad target creature and opponent controls. That player draws a card, you add red. Tavern Scoundrel for 1 and a red is a 1/3 human rogue. Whenever you win a coin flip, create 2 treasure tokens. You can pay 1, tap it, sacrifice another permanent, flip a coin. Gutter Snipe for 2 and a red is a 2/2 goblin shaman with whenever you cast an instant sorcery spell, Gutter Snipe deals 2 damage to each opponent. VV Ornator for 1 is a 0/3 wizard with 0 at X mana in any combination of blue and or red, where X is VV's power. Activate only during your turn and only once each turn. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, put a +1/+1 counter on VV Ornator, and it deals 1 damage to each opponent. Ursri, Fortune's Flame for 1 and is a 2/3 Ifrit with flying. Whenever he attacks, choose a number between 1 and 5, flip that many coins. For each flip you win, draw a card. For each flip you lose, Ursri deals 2 damage to you. If you won 5 flips this way, you may cast spells from your hand this turn without paying their mana costs. Mizzix of the Magnus for 2 and is a 2/2 goblin wizard with whenever you cast an instant sorcery spell with converted mana cost greater than the number of experience counters you have, you get an experience counter. Instant and sorcery spells you cast cost 1 less for each experience counter you have. Then we have a Spark Double for 3 and a blue is a 0/0 illusion. You may have Spark Double enter the battlefield as a copy of a creature or planeswalker you control, except it enters with an additional +1/+1 counter on it. If it's a creature, it enters with an additional loyalty counter on it if it's a planeswalker, and it isn't legendary. Brash Taunter for 4 and a red is a 1/1 goblin with indestructible. Whenever Brash Taunter is dealt damage, it deals that much damage to target opponent. Pay 2 and a red, tap it, Brash Taunter fights another target creature. Akun, Eye of Chaos, for 4 and a red is a 3/3 Cyclops Berserker who partners with Cinder Split. We don't worry about that for now. At the beginning of combat, on your turn, flip a coin until you lose a flip. Whenever a player wins a coin flip, double Akun's power and toughness until the end of turn. Cinder Split, Eye of Wisdom, for 4 and a blue is a 1/4 Homunculus. He partners with Akun. At the beginning of combat on your turn, flip a coin until you lose a flip. Whenever a player wins a coin flip, you draw a card. Coal Hauler Swine for 4 and 2 red is a 4/4 beast that says whenever Coal Hauler Swine is dealt damage, it deals that much damage to each other player. And then our sorceries, we have Vandal Blast for 1 red, destroy target artifact you don't control. You can overload it for 4 and a red to destroy all artifacts you don't control. And then we have Grape Shot for 1 and a red. Grape Shot deals 1 damage to any target, and it has Storm. So when you cast a spell, copy it for each spell cast before this turn. You choose new targets for the copies. Fiery Gambit for 2 and a red is a sorcery that says flip a coin until you lose a flip or choose to stop flipping. If you lose a flip, Fiery Gambit has no effect. If you win 1 or more flips, Fiery Gambit deals 3 damage to target creature. If you win 2 or more flips, Fiery Gambit deals 6 damage to each opponent. If you win 3 or more flips, draw 9 cards and untap all lands you control. Savor the moment for 1 and 2 blue. Take an extra turn after this one. Skip the untapped step of that turn. Stitch in time for 1 and is it flip a coin. If you win the flip, take an extra turn after this one. Blasphemous Act for 8 and a red. This spell casts 1 less to cast for each creature on the battlefield. Blasphemous Act deals 13 damage to each creature. And then our instance, we have Desperate Gambit for a red. Flip a coin. Target opponent calls heads or tails while coin is in the air. If the flip ends up in your favor, double the damage dealt by a source you control. Otherwise, prevent all damage from that source. Lightning Bolt for a red. Lightning Bolt deals 3 damage to any target. Counterspell for 2 blue. Counter target spell. Is it Charm for is it? Choose 1, counter target non-creature spell unless its controller pays 2. Is it Charm deals 2 damage to target creature, or draw 2 cards and discard 2 cards. Temur Battle Rage for 1 and a red. Target creature gains double strike until end of turn. Ferocious. That creature also gains trample until end of turn if you control a creature with power 4 or greater. Chaos Warp for 2 and a red. As an instant, the owner of target permanent shuffles it into their library, then reveals the top card of their library. If it's a permanent card, they put it onto the battlefield. Invert Polarity for 2 blue and a red. As an instant that says choose target spell, then flip a coin. If you win the flip, gain control of that spell, and you may choose new targets for it. If you lose the flip, counter that spell. Soul's Fire for 2 and a red. Is an instant that says target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to any target. Krark's Thumb for 2 colorless. If you would flip a coin, instead flip 2 coins and ignore 1. Strionic Resonator for 2. You can pay 2 and tap it. Copy target triggered ability you control. You may choose new targets for the copy. The Fantasticar for 3 colorless is a 4/4 vehicle with flying. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, you may have the Fantasticar become an artifact creature until end of turn. Whenever you cast your 4th non-creature spell each turn, you may sacrifice the Fantasticar. If you do, create 4/4/4 colorless construct artifact creature tokens with flying and haste. The Resonating Loot for 2 and is it? Lanes you control have tap, add 2 mana of any one color, spend this mana only to cast instant and sorcery spells, then you can tap it to draw a card, activate only if you have 7 or more cards in your hand. And then we have our enchantments. Our first one is Planar Chaos for 2 and a red. At the beginning of your upkeep, flip a coin. If you lose the flip, sacrifice Planar Chaos. Whenever a player plays a spell, that player flips a coin. If he or she loses the flip, counter that spell. Chance Encounter for 2 and 2 red. Whenever you win a coin flip, put a luck counter on Chance Encounter. At the beginning of your upkeep, if Chance Encounter has 10 or more luck counters on it, you win the game. And then for our lands, we have Castle Embrinth that enters unless you can tapped unless you control a mountain, but you can pay 1 and 2 red, tap it. Creatures you control get +1/+0 until end of turn. Castle Vantress is a way to scry, so you can pay 2 blue, tap it, scry 2. Frostboil Snarl Island, Manamo Water School at Water's Edge. We can pay a blue and tap it to untap target legendary permanent. Mysterized Village, pay a blue, tap it. The next spell you cast this turn can't be countered, or it just taps for a blue. The Gold Saucer is a fun little land from Final Fantasy that says pay 2, tap it, flip a coin. If you win the flip, create a treasure. Or you can pay 3, tap it, sacrifice 2 artifacts to draw a card. Then we've got Trading Center. We've got 6 islands, 8 mountains. We've got 23 lands total, which isn't a lot, but it is what it is. This whole deck's about feeling lucky, so that's what I've got. So that's my deck. We've got coin flips. We've got ways to hurt people off of winning. We got the thumb in there so we can make sure that we win our coin flips. We've got the Coal Hauler Swine that we can deal some damage to hurt all our opponents. Just an all-out little fun deck, I think. What do you guys think?
Yeah, seems pretty deadly. I like the direction that you've taken it. The only other thing, I have a couple of things that you might consider as maybes.
Okay.
I think functionally, we could be rigging it even more in our favor by having access to the spells if the flips don't work out in our favor again. So, like some
Mhm.
recursion of the instants and sorceries from our graveyard. So,
Yeah.
True.
a creature I might mention might be like Lear, Disciple of the Drowned. Then he's for 3 and 2 blue, you get yourself a human wizard. Spells can't be countered, and each instant and sorcery card in your graveyard has flashback. The flashback cost is equal to that card's mana cost.
Okay.
Again, and we can be redundant with those effects. There is a flashback that was printed in Secrets of Strixhaven,
Right.
which um, gives for a
Where's that?
it's an instant flashback.
Oh, there it is.
Yep. Instant for a single red, you can have target instant or sorcery in your graveyard have flashback equal to its mana cost. And then
Right.
there's a slightly overcosted version of that called Recoup. It, yep. And it does the same thing, but it itself has flashback as well. So just
Nice.
like multiple ways to have access to that. And then there's a fun little tutor that we could put in a land slot, which is Mystic Sanctuary. Yeah, then when Mystic Sanctuary enters tapped unless you have 3 or more other islands, and then when this land enters untapped, you may put target instant or sorcery card from your graveyard on top of your library. So it's another way to have access to some of our stronger instants and sorceries again, and it's
Nice.
just in a land slot, so that's just kind of cool. And then uh, that was a fun. So those were supporting that synergy. That's my only critique on it. I feel like you got the best coin flip, fix your odds things. So just like we can rig it even more by
Right.
having access to those a second time in case somehow it doesn't go right. Because it's still up to chance. So why even make it less up to chance? Uh, the uh,
Hmm.
the other two ads are just flavor ads. If you were looking for we could pay homage to the otter version of Ral by having essentially gutter snipe, but as an otter with coruscation mage. Uh, Corus. Yeah. And then it's essentially gutter snipe in a cute little otter form with offspring. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, this creature deals 1 damage to each opponent, and then of course, with the offspring, it's doing the same thing as gutter snipe. It's a little inefficiently costed, but you could pay homage to it if you wanted to be cute with it.
Right.
And then on the same vein is the storm caller uh, mentor, storm catch mentor. Sorry, storm catch mentor. And then that is a cost reducer for instants and sorceries. It's an otter
Yeah.
for a blue and a red, reduces it by 1, has haste and prowess. So could uh yeah, so they're just kind of like another like fun way to kind of pay homage to the otter art treatment. Absolutely just for flavor. You do not have to use it. I just thought it was cute.
Yeah.
um,
What you got, Keith?
I really like the spell recursion that Josh brought up, but the options I'm looking at are kind of expensive, like top end cards.
Yeah, I'm
So
trying to keep. We're trying to be like six is our top, and only really having
yeah,
like one or two sixes. So the coal hauler swine's got that spot right now, I
yeah, all
think.
the stuff I have might be too expensive. But I do have repeated reverberation, 2 red instant. When you next cast an instant spell, cast a sorcerer spell, or activate a loyalty ability this turn, copy that spell or ability twice. You may choose new targets for the
Ooh,
copies.
that's nice.
Great for the ultimate for any of those.
Yeah, that is
And then
nice.
right now I'm looking at Secrets of Strixhaven creatures with all the spells stapled onto them so I can get some repeatable spells.
Right.
Ooh, how about harmonized trio? For a blue creature, Merfolk Bard Wizard 1/1 has tap 2 untap creatures you control. This creature becomes prepared, and its spell is Brainstorm. Instant. Draw 3 cards, then put 2 cards from your hand on top of your library in any order.
Nice.
Yeah, and we don't have a one drop creature on curve, so that would be a decent add to consider as well.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
And any of the other ones that have low mana value, but like repeatable prepared spells might
Right.
be a good pick.
Yeah.
Um, I'm thinking.
Yeah, I can't. I like that. The repeating spells. I think we were kind of had a similar idea in just different directions. I was like, let's do them again. And you're like, let's do them again, but different.
Yeah. 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 And then you've got you know, you've got
Oh,
ways to copy and then you've got ways to get them back too with
yeah.
Tamu. Yeah, Keith.
Okay, yeah. I wanted a big finisher with Crackle with Power
Okay.
because Vivi is sort of a like mana generator like that, and just Vivi plus any X spell really.
Yeah.
Just a big finisher.
Yeah, that's nice.
Um, what else do we need?
The only other thing is if you wanted to play around with your top end finisher, you could instead of the coal hauler swine, you could subs in the new Prismari dragon that gives all of your spells the storm, so
Mhm.
that could get really gross really fast if that's a direction that you wanted to take it. If you wanted to play around with your top end creature.
Yeah, and I was thinking of the Niv Mizzets too, but I was like, I don't. If you do one Niv Mizzet, then you got to do all the Niv Mizzets because they all play together so well.
But
So it's
yeah, I mean he loves himself, so
yeah,
he's canonically he's just very narcissistic and it works well with himself.
what do you got, Keith?
Yeah. One more little guy. A Molten hyphen core maestro, 1 in red, creature, goblin bard, 2/2, menace, and it has opus. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, put a 1/1 counter on this creature. If 5 or more mana was spent to cast that spell, add an amount of red equal to this creature's power.
Ooh,
And
that's
if you go to
nice.
instants, see if this is even like applicable if we have 5+ costed instants.
No,
Ooh. And there's only one sorcery that's over 5. Yeah, that's a no.
yeah,
Okay, I tried.
yeah. So yeah,
But you know,
I try to keep it because when I'm trying to do like spell slinger stuff, I try to just keep everything just like really low cost so I can do a whole bunch of stuff all at once, and then yeah, it's one of those where hopefully it all works out, and if it doesn't, then I'm dead. So that means I have time to get
Forget
snacks while everybody else is
forget
playing,
about it.
you know?
yeah. So then
So
and then whenever we rack these up against each other, I really need to have Rook throw out in the field.
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So yeah. So that's it. That's my deck. So that's oh my gosh, this Diet Coke's killing me. So that's our 4 Oathbreaker decks. So like I said, we're gonna be making some more Oathbreaker, I feel like, in the near future. And then, we can make some Pauper and other stuff too. Because I like making, commander decks and stuff like that, but it's always nice to take a little break and try other formats too. And, you know, it's like that when you go and have game nights, just playing different formats and having fun with people uh and less life means less time waiting
Faster
for the game
games.
to end. More
Mhm.
games to play. Yeah. So, but you can also play Cali Commander where you only have like 20 life or something like that. Uh, so that's cool.
Yeah.
I
So
love
that's
it.
a one
Lo-
1v1 commander format that Cassius Marsh has started. So if you haven't checked out Cali Commander, it's kind of cool. He's letting the community kind of pick what gets banned, what gets unbanned, and all that fun stuff. So yeah, Josh.
Oh, I was gonna say, speaking of different formats, did we want to talk about limited like the Hobbit set in the pre-release?
Yeah, yeah. So um, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to play. Usually these pre-releases happen and I'm working, so I miss all the pre-releases. But there's a lot of really good cards in this set, so it's gonna be one that I may not get to be able to play pre-release, but definitely gonna pick up some singles and see what I can do with them because there's some powerful cards in this set. What do you guys are you guys gonna play in some pre-release events or
Yeah, I
what are you thinking?
I didn't know it was coming up so soon, but yeah, I don't want to miss this one. Should
Yep.
Yeah,
be. I mean, the first Lord of the Rings was like amazing draft, so
yeah.
So
should
I
want.
am already confirmed to for Saturday at Moonshot at 11.
Nice.
So if any in
I'm
Noblesville, if
seated.
anyone sees me there, just say hi and happy to. I'm really looking forward to it. Uh, I love limited and pre-releases. I love that energy, so I always try to hit everyone that I can. So I even have. I know we don't have all the spoilers out right now, so to compared to all the other sources that have an extra week's worth of information, it might be
Right.
a little moot to give strategies, but I want to give my moot strategies anyway. Is that okay?
Yeah,
Yeah.
go for it.
So, just I wanted to kind of pitch some of the archetypes that I'm seeing with these, the different color combinations and their strengths, and ones that I think are interesting, and what I'm predicting will play out a little stronger and limited. And so, with that, the uh, I first want to pitch birds. There's
Birds.
good birds in Lord of the Rings, and anytime that you're building up value to like a 5 drop flying finisher, uh, like those 3 Fs have won me so many limited games. The 5 drop flying finisher just gets it done. Just building your curve into that, it's hard to go wrong. So whenever I'm going to be there, I'm going to be looking for birds probably, unless I got as far as like the commons and uncommons go. I think that's just this consistent, strong way to do it.
Yeah, birds just straight up poop on people.
Sure.
So
Evasive boys.
Yes,
Good
but
strat.
that being said, there are just straight up elves, and elves be doing elvish things. Like there's wood elves, so you're getting your mana ramp on a body, which is really
yeah.
strong. So if you can go elves, you and also there's like elves with landfall payouts and Lord of the Ring and like hobbits right now as well. So like that's what they needed elves more land stuff. So
Yeah.
it's very very strong. I do like the Rakdos direction for the goblins, kind of like echoing some of what Lorwyn was doing. I feel like they might get some of the pieces that Lorwyn was missing in limited if they get like a sack outlet and like payouts for all these goblins that you're making. That could be a very strong strategy. The Azorius new keyword where you get to discard and draw. That's fun. I wonder the bits of that we've seen so far were kind of high costed, the main people. So I'm wondering if the tempo play would work out with that strategy or not.
Hmm.
But if they get enough support with like early game plays, then I mean like being able to go through your deck and find your closing piece could be really, really strong. It just depends how much more of that mechanic that they print. Um, and I think that's the recruit mechanic or something like that. Does that sound right?
Yeah. Um, I think it is called Recruit. I just saw that. And Amass is back too.
Yeah, so uh, I love the dwarves, but they would need to get some crazy stuff because Boros equipment does not typically win limited. But if they get like an absolute god uh, equipment that like a Reaver Cleaver or something absolutely brutal to that vein, then it could happen. But uh, probably not going Boros this one. But who knows?
No.
Something crazy might be spoiled, and I could look like an idiot. That's the fun thing about doing this with 1 week short of
Yeah.
spoilers. So, but yeah, those are
Yeah.
my predictions. I think my rank choice right now would be like Uh,
Burbs.
Burbs, elves, burbs and elves.
Yeah. I think you need to keep an eye out for equipments because there are some crazy swords in this set too, like crazy artifacts that you can throw in the hands of your birds. So, you all know that birds have hands and bird hands. So, but there's one that was kind of spoiled today, and I don't think it's officially out yet, so I don't want to talk about it. But it is a very gross, rare equipment that you can play. Yeah, Keith.
My vote for limited is taking advantage of the amass ability because you can get some really
Oh
big
yeah,
tokens, and those can be your
yep,
game winners there. So amass goblins or orcs.
yep,
That's probably red-black strategy though. So it
yep.
could be fast aggro and also have some tall beaters too.
Yeah, that was a fun one. Josh, if they have last time for Lord of the Rings, they did like a little baggie that had little dice in it. So if they do that again, you better keep an eye out because those little baggies were kind of cool. But other than that, I think that's all we've got for tonight. Um,
Would you say we
with
have this episode in the bag?
I think we do have this episode in the bag. Do you think this episode resolves?
I think it
Hmm,
resolves.
I think
All
it
right.
resolves.
We'll see you next week, and we'll have updates on all of our cons and all of our pros and our pre-releases. So, thanks for sticking around with us. Josh and Keith, thank you so much for doing 2 episodes in one night. Sam, I know you were with us in spirit, so I'm praying for you. Uh, but all right, this episode resolves. We'll see you guys later.
Bye.
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 Thanks for tuning in to this week's episode of Hexproof and Ward. If you liked what you heard, you can continue to listen on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. You can watch us on YouTube. You can give us a follow on Instagram, Facebook, and Blue Sky. We'll see you next week.